Midway up the hillside in southeast Anchorage, Master Gardener Julie has built a garden with a minimal impact philosophy. She tries to use all reclaimed and repurposed materials in her garden. A major key is blending her garden with the wild. Julie has been in Alaska since 1991 after moving from California where she grew up. She prefers the open space and smaller crowds in the vast state. Julie has been working on her garden for close to 10 years. Her husband Blackie has been on the property for 15. Julie has carefully crafted everything in her garden and greenhouse from local sources and by networking on Craigslist. And if she has something she can't use, she offers it out to the community. She looks for a use for everything, even a split birch log. The Bone Garden is a testament to her love of the great land. After attending a Master Gardener tour last summer near her home, Julie was inspired to begin a hosta collection. Julie loves bold colors, and the Himalayan blue poppy is at the top of her list. She has been growing a few over the years and found a great way to plant them. She found the plants like troughs in her mulch hillside. She's had to amend this hill over time because the whole property was hard pack fill. The bright colors make all the poppies favorites of Julie's. She has started some of these Oriental poppies, and some have come from a friend. This 2-year-old poppy garden also features California poppies and Shirley poppies. On the way up the drive to her greenhouse, we see Julie has repurposed a garbage can for a rainwater collector, complete with a tight-fitting screen. Their property utilizes a water well, so every way she can harvest water is a bonus for her plants. The containers in the back were full of other items for projects that were not being completed, so Julie sold and gave away a lot of those, including some trusses that were meant to go over both containers to make a shelter. With the other materials gone, she was able to build her greenhouse. This black potato planter was a water barrel that blew away in the wind and cracked. True to her repurposing ethos, Julie completed the cut and made a planter. In a special section, she has built raised beds for potatoes, radishes, carrots, some herbs, and kale, that sturdy plant that grows well into the frost if harvested properly. These are Julie's plant-a-row for the hungry boxes. She donates fresh produce to the Gospel Mission in Midtown Anchorage. To hold soil after it's been composted and to warm it up for use in potting, she has repurposed some old garbage cans. After she retired, Julie completed the Master Gardener class on the recommendation of her good friend Larry. They met in Ketchikan years ago. Larry is a long-time Alaskan gardener. He is the compost master at the Alaska Botanical Garden. One tip he shared was to use these leftover tiles from another project under the compost. Their smooth surface makes it easy for Julie to move her compost around. Larry likes to pick up yak manure from the Alaska Zoo to use in compost. This year it was a tough find because so many people staying at home decided to build gardens, and that's a great thing. There was a jacuzzi tub on the deck that was never being used. She repurposed it into more garden beds. This year, Julie took a load of horse manure from someone nearby. One year, she collected a truckload of spent grain from Midnight Sun Brewery, lending the aroma of beer to the neighborhood. Julie has noticed that years with big frost heaves on the road usually are years they run out of water. This tub is another way to save water if the well runs dry. And one summer, a moose repurposed her tub into a drinking trough. Julie is an active volunteer at the Alaska Botanical Garden herself. She has been taking her spruce seedlings to them where they sell out instantly. She starts most of her own plants from seed or division, and she has learned to be careful not to crowd the house. She only starts enough to fit on the folding table. She, like all of us, really enjoyed the Master Gardener program, which is always run in the winter here. But like all of us, we really wish it had a summer session so we could all have hands-on experience. Julie's friend Larry has been helpful filling in instructions on crop rotation and which seeds she can direct sow. Wood and supplies to build the greenhouse were items she found on Craigslist. When the Imaginarium merged into the Anchorage Museum, she picked up some furniture that was given away. Julie likes colorful things, so many of the pots and tools in the greenhouse are bright. She also buys plants from neighbors. Some are starts that she didn't have, like celery and potatoes. She also collects coffee grounds from local shops. She says traveling around town collecting items to reuse is half of the fun. When Julie saw a wasp starting to build a nest in her greenhouse, she learned about these decoy lanterns. Wasps are territorial, and when they see the lantern, they will not build there. Julie built shelves in this container, transforming it into a garden shed. The wood over the roof of the container is leftover wood from building the deck on the house. Not only does the roof protect the container, it directs water into the garden, not down the driveway. She loves using the stumps from trees that have come down in the property. They help keep the garden looking a little natural. Julie built this gate and found the perfect stain, which turns it into a golden gate glow in the evening sun. The raised garden bed was a wedding present from her neighbor who owns Green Acres Landscape Business. This is her first year to grow garlic. Larry helped her with that too. Julie had not seen rabbits for the first 4 years she was there, but when she started seeing the little creatures, she had to extend the tall moose fence all the way to the ground. This is the first year to try peas on the fence. There are sweet peas and snap peas. A small bed on the side of the house is her test plot for perennials. Her garden is a work in progress, mostly learning what sizes grow well together. In year 2, these lilies seem quite happy. She does purchase these baskets on the deck, but has aspirations to grow her own fuchsia. She loves their flowery personalities. Other pots on the deck hold her salad bar. She has learned there are less pests up here. But the reason we're up here is to admire Julie's artful wood stack. She credits Will, lead horticulturist at the Alaska Botanical Garden, for inspiration. In 2016, he built a Holzhausen on the property, and that inspired her to do the same. Holzhausen are traditional forms of stacking wood that creates an open center for aeration and an angled top to direct water off the stack, not into it. Now, every year, she builds a new creation. She wants to encourage everybody to show us your wood stack. The whirligigs are from a big box store, and that's okay with her. She really likes to see them twirl in the wind. Though the hillside does tend to have wind enough to knock them down, and occasionally blow down trees. Julie keeps the mulch and the wood on the property. Remember those paper wasps Julie is thwarting with lanterns? Here's how they harvest their pulp. She just wants to divert those wasps. Remember, they eat a lot of pest insects. In her first year of gardening, this area was her potato patch. She harvested 90 pounds and said it was so much fun. Is that when she knew she wanted to be a gardener? Julie continues the bold plantings around the property with bright nasturtiums and calendula. Even her kindling pile is creative. Busy as a bee, Julie is finding ways to repurpose and reclaim material throughout Anchorage to bring her artistic garden to life.